welcome to Baha'i On Air. I'm Rahman Rehani. We don't have to look far to realize that we're living in a very troubled world. To many, a world of peace seems impossible at worst and elusive at best. Members of the Baha'i Faith hold a very different, a very optimistic outlook. We believe a time of globe-encompassing peace is not only possible, but inevitable. True peace can only be achieved by a shift in the consciousness of all the peoples of the earth and their subsequent generations. A day-by-day, step-by-step struggle which forces people to associate with one another in the spirit of concord and harmony, and not contention and estrangement. Members of the Baha'i Faith around the world are involved in various grassroots initiatives which aim to bring about this shift in mankind's consciousness. A few years ago, I was lucky enough to take part in one such initiative, the Education for Peace program of Australia, which recently celebrated its 10-year anniversary. While the program has its roots in the teachings of the world's major religions, including the Baha'i Faith, its inspiration was a particular document prepared by the world governing body of the Baha'i Faith, the Universal House of Justice. This message, the promise of world peace, was released to the world in 1985 and is more relevant now than ever. The document outlines the grave social ills from which the world suffers and offers some practical and spiritual solutions which, when put into practice, will inevitably bring about world peace. In this episode of Baha'i On Air, we'll look at the Education for Peace program, its goals, its ideals, and how it is a prime example of peace in the making. Nestled away in the southern highlands of rural New South Wales, just 90 minutes from the hustle and bustle of Sydney, is a tranquil little town, Yarranbil. Yarranbil has been the home of the Education for Peace program since its inception. Every year it attracts young people from all over Australia and the Pacific to take part in its various residential courses, one of which is Education for Peace. The program is run by the Education for Peace Institute, which is a non-profit, non-governmental organization dedicated to the building of a culture of peace throughout society. The Australian Institute aims to instill both the knowledge and skills required to become peacemakers, both at home and in the wider community, in perhaps the most crucial segment of our society, our young people.
We felt that there was a gap in spiritual education of the junior youth at very critical stage of their development. 13 years old is the time that they start to form the identity about who they are, what their roles are in the society, what their aim and objectives are.
It came into my life at such an important time when I was 13, when I was going through that stage of self-discovery.
It helps them make decisions when they're older and eventually work together to try and create peace or unity.
Having these skills allows you to have a great deal of optimism that a lot of other people don't have in these times of great trouble.
We would like them to experience something very different from the day-to-day life that they have.
Arising out of an educational philosophy based on developing self-esteem, the program seeks to instill morals, values, and fundamental spiritual truths in order to complement formal academic education, to produce happier, more productive, and more proactive members of society. However, Baha'is believe the cause of the world's ills transcend moral and ethical reasons and are the result of a basal lack of individual spirituality.